Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Manic episode. I'm your host, Kayla Cole, and this is my first episode guest star, Stella. As you can see, she fell asleep on the job. We'll get over that later. She won't get a paycheck after this, though. And here on the Manic episode, we'll be talking about.
Mental illness. Love it.
I know mental illness can be seen as something scary or something people don't usually want to talk about, but I think it's something nice to talk about, actually. It gets you to know a person, and it isn't something that a person should have to hide and feel bad about. So, we're going to go through a couple of different mental illnesses that are quite, I won't say popular, but most people are diagnosed with this in some way. Um, this first episode is something special to me, is bipolar. Why is it special to me? Because for 2 years, I have been diagnosed with bipolar, and I have recently found out that I've probably had it since I was in high school. So, I'm going to talk about what bipolar is. There's two different types. And then I'm also going to try to talk about my personal experience with it and then go into the stigmatism that TV and society put on bipolar. So let's start out with what bipolar is. I'm going to read kind of off my script a little bit because I don't want to get this wrong. It's very something serious to talk about, so you want, but also you can kind of make it fun. But it's also something you don't want to get wrong. So bipolar 1 is characterized by manic episodes. They last about 7 days, and their manic symptoms could be really severe. They sometimes lead to hospitalization. They're just more crazier, a little out there. And people with bipolar 1 may also experience depressive episodes that are like at least 2 weeks long. And then I have bipolar type 2, and that is a pattern of really depressive episodes and hypomanic episodes. Um, the manic episodes are less severe with bipolar type 2, and the depressive episodes are a bit more severe with bipolar type 2. So, your girl's a little sad sometimes. Don't worry about it. Um, my manic episodes may be less intense, but they do last a good amount of time as well. Um, I'm not absolutely, going crazy in the streets like, some TV shows like to personify about bipolar people, but I am spending a lot of money. Let me tell you that. Bank account not doing too hot, babes. And then on top of that, you don't think about what you do and what you say, and you're just absolutely crazy. I'm staying up all night for 2 days straight, just getting stuff done. And one manic episode I had that was really something crazy for me um, was I, in the spring semester, was doing 21 credit hours, two jobs, um, as well as some extracurriculars. And I also signed myself up to do a podcast and repaint a room and go hang out with friends. It was a lot on my plate, but yeah, I was killing it. I felt amazing. And that's manic episode for you guys. I didn't sleep during that time for 3 days straight at one point. And if you didn't know, after a certain point of not having sleep, you are at the same level of intoxication from alcohol. And it was my friend's birthday. And I remember I was sitting across the table from them, and it was like, they said it was like you could just see you just like break. And it's like the manic episode stopped and you were tired. And I remember driving home from that was not a good idea in my part because I was constantly falling asleep at the wheel. It was like I took a NyQuil and took a drive kind of thing. Um, so it's sometimes not the greatest. especially the depressive episodes. We're not going to get too into that because we're not trying to make this a sad thing. We're trying to keep on the light side. Um, so with the depressive episodes, yes, there are the troubles, the hate of yourself and of others. Sometimes during depressive or manic episodes, it's not just about sadness or super happiness. Sometimes it's just pure anger. Female rage is a real thing. Um, so it's a little different. It can be scary sometimes for you, but if you have a good support system, which I will leave after this episode, I personally have a great friend group and support system, so I can always count on them to make sure that I'm not going out of my absolute mind. But the best way to describe for either bipolar 1 or bipolar 2 is when you're having your manic episode, imagine you stretching like a rubber band. And then when that depressive episode hits, it's like it snaps back on you. And depressive episodes can happen because of a trigger, just because suddenly you're wearing out of that energy, your brain chemistry, the chemicals that create all of this is just working its thing. So it's rough, but there are many, many resources to help you in those situations, which is great. I go to therapy, love it. Um, she gives me so many weird, crazy advice that I'm like, I didn't know that. Why isn't this a thing? Like, I have a lot of panic attacks. Um, and so I was telling her about how I take care of those. I lay on the floor in a fetal position and cry my heart out, but that's beside the point. Um, she says if you put an ice pack on your chest or on the back of your neck, it will help relieve that panic. It will help calm you. So I highly suggest doing that if you do have an anxiety or panic attack. As I was a kid, it was the phrase, "Oh, they're so bipolar," was used a lot, and it was kind of irritating to say the least. Um, growing up now, because bipolar disorder is not the ups and downs you get in daily life. It is a string of events. It is a pole of emotion. And I've had a lot of people in my family or group that say, sometimes you just don't know where you are. Are you happy? Are you sad? I just don't know what to say to you, what jokes I can make, because it's hard to tell where you're at, which I get because it's not like I have one of those little stuffy things that either look like an octopus and you can flip them in and out and they like have a smiley face or angry face. I don't have one of those on me. So, and I hate those things. They look ugly. So, I can't really just be like, yeah, I'm depressed today. Deal with it. So, it's one of those things. And I think I hate the most about it is they'll show it on TV. SVU, they'll use like somebody who has bipolar disorder and they'll be like, this is why they're an awful person or this is why they did this. No, they did that because they're messed up in a different way. They didn't do that because they're manic and felt like it. Um, when I'm manic, I do some questionable things, but not that questionable. Okay. Besides that, I feel like there's the always misconception about the mood swings, and I hope that I touched base on those enough because they get so rough that when somebody's like, "Yeah, I'm so bipolar. I was happy just earlier today, and then I'm, really angry." And I'm like, "Why do you think that?" And they'll be like, "Oh, because I failed this assignment." I go, "Well, baby, come on. You failed the assignment, you're angry, and now you're happy about it. We built a bridge and crossed it, okay? Move on." And so it kind of just, for something I go through, it kind of sucks hearing people use that word and then not know what they're talking about. Obviously, she's not serious about anything. Stella, do you have anything to say to the crowd? Okay, yeah, good idea. I think that's about it for this episode. I wanted to keep it short and sweet for all you ADHD babes here. I would put like the Subway Surfer thing on the side and let y'all just watch that while I talk, but you have to focus on this ugly mug for a little bit longer. Um, Future episodes will include ADHD and, of course, autism and OCD. I have been personally diagnosed with OCD. Mine is a different type than other people's OCD, so I will be bringing in two other lovely friends to join me. And then I am never been diagnosed with autism. So I'll be bringing in one of my friends for that. And I have had ADHD since I was 6. So can't wait for that. So it's a long talk about different things that different people experience with the mental illness. And I hope that way we can get this icky feeling about talking about mental illness out of the way. You know, it can be something we can talk about without making everybody feel like they're depressed or feel bad for you in pity. I don't need pity. My brain does that for itself. So let's talk more about mental illness and get to know each other in the next couple of episodes. So make sure to like, subscribe, and comment about how cute Stella is. And that's about it. Bye. Stella, I have to film, but you're so distracting.